Picture a classroom with fluorescent lights, a stopwatch, and a number written next to your name. They told you that number was your worth. They called it IQ, grades, talent. It was never real. Now picture the real scoreboard, a city that does not care how smart you feel. Bills, deadlines, betrayals, opportunity windows that close while you are still thinking. Real intelligence is leverage. Real intelligence is survival. Look at your life like a strategy map. Who moves first? Who hesitates? Who gets played and who sets the rules? That is the ladder nobody taught you. There is a hidden hierarchy of minds, not the polite hierarchy of diplomas and vocabulary. The brutal hierarchy of who wins and who gets used. 7 levels, 7 awakenings. Imagine a mirror made of dark glass. You do not look into it to feel good. You look into it to know the truth. Because once you see the ladder, you cannot unsee it. Walk through a crowded street at rush hour. Watch the faces. Notice the eyes that are present but not alive. Bodies moving like a river with no captain. This is level 1, and it is packed. Level 1 is the sleeper, not always stupid, often educated, sometimes impressive on paper, but functionally asleep. Picture a hand scrolling endlessly, thumb moving like a metronome. The news tells him what to fear. Ads tell him what to buy. The crowd tells him what to believe. He calls it my opinion. It is not. Press him gently and he collapses into borrowed phrases. A headline, a childhood belief, a group slogan. He is a container for other people's scripts. He lives under an external master, economy, government, spouse, luck. Every failure is a conspiracy. Every discomfort is an injustice. The sleeper does not drive. He gets driven. Give him freedom and watch him panic. He does not want choice. He wants permission. He wants the warm blanket of consensus. Look closer and you will see the real fear. Standing alone, not being wrong, not losing money, being the only one. That is why he checks the comment section before he thinks. If you are still watching, something inside you already rejected the anesthesia. That discomfort you feel is not weakness. It is reality leaking in. That is the first crack. When the sleeper cracks open, he does not become wise. He becomes loud. He climbs into level 2. Level 2 is the mimic. Imagine a man wearing intellect like a suit 2 sizes too big. He learned that smart is a status symbol, so he performs it. Picture a dinner table, candlelight, and someone who speaks in complicated words to sound superior. He quotes books he did not digest. He repeats ideas he did not earn. Intelligence becomes theater. The mimic collects credentials like shiny stones, not to build anything, to be seen holding them. He does not want truth. He wants applause. He is addicted to the aesthetic of knowledge, the right opinions, the right causes, the right language. He thinks that looking like a thinker makes him one. Challenge him with a new problem and watch the mask slip. Ask him to build from zero, ask him to create a system. He panics because creation exposes him. This is the trap. Level 2 feels higher than level 1, and it is technically. The mimic looks down on the sleeper and thinks, I woke up. But he is still dreaming, just in a brighter costume. His ego is fragile because it is rented. He needs approval from the intellectual crowd, so he becomes aggressive when questioned, not because he is right, because he is scared. If you find yourself memorizing arguments to win debates, you are not thinking. You are defending an identity. That is level 2. The way out is brutal and simple. Stop performing. Start observing reality like it cannot be negotiated. When you stop trying to look smart and start trying to be effective, you enter level 3. Level 3 is the calculator. Picture a chessboard under a single lamp. No speeches, no virtue signals, only moves. The calculator is the fox. He sees incentives. He reads the room like a ledger. He asks one cold question. What do they want and what do they fear? He stops worshipping rules. He recognizes them as tools, social contracts, corporate etiquette, moral costumes, useful until they are not. Watch him climb, not by sweating the hardest, by positioning the smartest. He speaks less. He listens more. He learns who matters and who is noise. But here is the poison that enters at level 3. When every interaction becomes a transaction, the world loses its color. People become pieces. Trust becomes a weakness. Love becomes a liability. So he scans for threats like a man living in constant pressure. He assumes everyone is calculating too. He projects his own cunning onto the world. And paranoia becomes his rent. Many men stop here. They get money, they get status, they learn the game. But they do not get peace, because they are still reacting to the board. To climb higher, you need something the fox does not have. Weight, presence, will. Level 4 is the operator, the lion. Picture a high-stakes room at dawn, fog low to the ground, and one figure walking forward while others hesitate. The operator does not just see the pieces, he moves them. He does not just understand the rules. He enforces them. This is the first level where intelligence becomes generative. He creates outcomes through execution. He creates order in chaos. That is why people follow him. He makes decisions that softer minds avoid. He carries responsibility like a tool. He does not need consensus. He needs results. Picture him like a lighthouse in a storm. Others panic in the dark water. He stands still. He projects direction. But the lion has a flaw: visibility. The operator is in front. He gets the credit and he gets the pressure. His power is tied to his energy, his presence, his stamina. If he weakens, wolves circle. If he gets sick, the machine shakes. He becomes exhausted from carrying weight that should have been turned into structure. And here is the secret. At level 4, you can look like a king while living like a servant. Because you are still the engine, you are still the one doing. The operator thinks power is control, loudness, being seen. He has not learned the deepest law of strategy. The most dangerous forces are invisible. So we go darker. We go quieter. We enter level 5. Level 5 is the puppeteer. Picture a theater stage blazing with light, and behind the curtain a calm hand pulling strings. The puppeteer understands that direct control creates resistance. Push a man, and he pushes back. Order him and he resents you. But shape what he wants and he walks willingly. This is soft power, influence, narrative. The art of making outcomes feel inevitable while everyone believes they chose them. He does not stand at the podium. He stands beside it. He does not fight in the arena. He designs the story the arena runs on. Watch how he moves, through intermediaries, through introductions, through friends of friends. His fingerprints are never on the move. If something fails, his name is nowhere. If it succeeds, he harvests quietly. He becomes invisible on purpose. But level 5 has a brutal price. When you wear masks long enough, you forget your own face. When you see every interaction as an operation, connection dies. The puppeteer becomes powerful and lonely, cold, ghost-like. He can predict humans, steer them, even control rooms, but he cannot belong in them. And still, he is not the top. Because he is still playing the game, he is still moving pieces on a board he did not build. The true master does not play the game. The true master builds the casino. Level 6 is the architect. Picture a giant table covered in blueprints, city grids, supply chains, algorithms, laws, not moves, environments. The architect understands a brutal truth. Human behavior is a function of structure. If you want people to walk a certain way, you do not beg them, you build a hallway. The fox steals grapes. The lion fights for the bunch. The puppeteer convinces someone to hand him grapes. The architect owns the vineyard. This is systemic intelligence. Second-order thinking, third-order consequences. The ability to design a world where the outcomes are baked in. Think about platforms, institutions, ideologies, religions, corporations. The architect does not care which side argues louder. He built the arena. He profits from the noise. He thinks in decades, not weeks. He sacrifices small wins for structural dominance. He does not need to win every battle. He wants to rig the contest. To reach level 6, you must abandon personal glory. You must stop chasing applause. You must fall in love with structure, incentives, feedback loops, human nature at scale. But even the architect is not the final level, because he is still attached to his creation. He still cares if the system holds. He still suffers if it collapses. There is one level higher, not more control, less, not more identity, less. Level 7 is the void. Picture a snowfield at night. No footprints, no sound, no audience. Just stillness so clean it feels like an edge. The void has total internal sovereignty. Not because he owns everything, because he needs nothing. You cannot threaten a man who is not attached. You cannot bribe a man who desires nothing you offer. You cannot manipulate a man whose ego has no hooks. This is not despair. This is transcendence. The void acts with perfect clarity because desire does not fog his vision. Picture water in a dark bowl. You try to grab it and it slips through you. You try to strike it and it reforms. It does what is necessary, nothing extra. The void can descend into any level as a tool. He can be the lion when force is required, the fox when cunning is required, the architect when structure is required, then he returns to stillness. He does not live in the game. He visits it, and that is why he is terrifying. Because you cannot read him. You cannot predict him. You cannot pull him into your drama. He reflects you back to yourself. Look into him and you see your own mind. That is the final mirror. Now the mirror is in front of you. Where do you live most days? Be honest. The lie you tell yourself is the most expensive lie you will ever buy. Are you a sleeper, reacting, drifting, waiting for permission? Are you a mimic, collecting labels, chasing applause, confusing vocabulary for wisdom? Are you a calculator, cold and effective but trapped in transactions and paranoia? Are you an operator carrying weight, visible, exhausted, surrounded by wolves? Are you a puppeteer controlling outcomes but losing your face behind masks? Are you an architect building systems obsessed with structure and legacy? Or have you tasted level 7 even once in a moment of pure detachment where nothing could touch you? Most people oscillate between level 2 and level 3, smart enough to see the game exists. Still hungry for validation, still afraid to stand alone. And here is the part nobody tells you. The system is designed to keep you low. School trains. Sleepers. Obey the bell. Repeat the answer. Ask permission. University often breeds mimics. Collect credentials. Speak the right language. Join the right tribe. Corporate life manufactures calculators. Learn the politics. Manage the optics. Survive the incentives. The system does not want architects. The system is terrified of the void. So how do you climb? You do not climb by adding more information. You climb by removing illusions. To leave level 1, you must notice the script. To leave level 2, you must stop performing. To leave level 3, you must stop worshiping safety and accept responsibility. To move from calculator to operator, you need courage, not motivation. Courage. The willingness to take the blame with the decision. To move from operator to puppeteer, you need subtlety. Silence. Psychology. The ability to influence without forcing. To move from puppeteer to architect, you must study systems. Incentives, institutions, economics, history, human behavior at scale. To move from architect to void, you must let go. Attachment, identity, the need to be somebody. This is a long road, a cold road. Most people turn back because the herd is warm. But warmth makes you soft, and softness makes you controllable. Picture the middle of the flock, safe, loud, full of agreement. Now picture the mountain, quiet, sharp air, no applause, no comfort. The climb is paid for in silence. And here is the paradox. The higher you go, the less you need to prove, the less you explain, the less you beg to be understood. Because the moment you stop needing people to validate your intelligence, you become dangerous. Real intelligence is not sounding right. It is being effective. It is seeing the code under the world, incentive.